A year ago, I read Atomic Habits. So I'm like a reader for life, okay? I just love books. You give me one, and I'd probably finish it within 2 days. Now, one thing that I'm proud of, ICV, is that I didn't just finish the book. I also noted down every point that resonated with me, which I felt would bring a change in my life. But then, reality strikes. Just 3 days after I finished it, I had my internals. Life happened, I got busy, whatever. And just like that, all those life-changing thoughts seemed to vanish. They slipped into my subconscious, buried somewhere I could not reach. And honestly, that's the story of almost every medical student I know. Either we don't have the time for books like these, or we read them but never get the chance to implement anything. Now that was me until yesterday, because while cleaning my room, I found this notebook and I thought it was just a random rough book of mine of last year ready to be tossed into the bins. But then when I opened it, I landed on the pages where I had poured all of my learnings from Atomic Habits. And reading those notes again, let me tell you, it was like I was meeting an old version of myself. The version that wanted to grow. The version that believed she could do better. And this time, I'm ready to do something about it. Now this video is not just a guide, okay? It's not a summary. It's not a step-by-step how to. This is what Atomic Habits is about. Go for it. No. It's just me, Aisri, a second-year MBBS student, reconnecting with that girl who read that book a year ago. And trying to become the medical student she always wanted to be. Alright, so one major thing, actually the foundation, of Atomic Habits is of course habits, just like the title suggests. What the author really emphasizes on is how powerful small habits can be. You might have heard of this idea before, but a 1% improvement every single day can make you unrecognizably better over time. And that's actually true. Sudden drastic changes are hardly ever going to stick. But when you're consistent, it actually delivers results. And the author really emphasizes on this core idea that your habits should be identity-based and not outcome-based. Now bear with me because this will make much more sense once you get through the end of this video. So let's say you have a long-term goal, right? It could be anything. Academic, personal, spiritual, materialistic, anything. Now, what do we normally do? We start obsessing over reaching that goal. But what does this book suggest? It suggests to ask yourself, who is the kind of person who would naturally achieve that goal? Now this is where that ideology of identity-based habits come in. It's like a whole system, To reach point A, which is your goal, you need to take a whole route. And that whole route lies in first identifying who is that ideal person who could probably achieve that goal. And that leads to development of beliefs. And when you have a belief, you need to implement that in your life. And those repetitive actions are what we call as habits. So let me give you a real life example, because I think it's only when we put this into context that, you start to really understand, and that means it's more powerful, whatever. So let's say you've just cracked NEET. You've entered MBBS, and like many of us, you have this one big clear goal to truly value the course you're in. And I had this specific goal to become someone who's confident, someone who could communicate clearly and meaningfully. And even if my content is just helping one person, that's enough, it's worth it for me. So this was my goal, it still is. So what's the first step? Imagine the kind of person who naturally achieves that goal. It could be a real person or someone I'm just creating in my head. So for me, I envision this girl who is consistent with her routine, who respects her own time and others, understands what she studies, is not just memorizing it, who takes care of her health and really just shows up on camera as her true self, even if that person's not perfect. So I've got that vision, so I started building systems that would help me embody that identity. So it's not like post a video, but create content like someone who actually wants to make a difference. So this is a shift in mindset, and this will only come when you start rooting for your core identity based habits. Because when you look into the philosophies of life, we do not try to contradict with the identity which we hold. Identity is like a huge factor when it comes to how you view yourself and how you want society to view you. So when your habits align with whatever you portray to society, it is more likely going to be sticking rather than just doing materialistic things for the sake of reaching that end goal. Now, before we move on to the next segment, I feel like it's important to point out that goals are meant to be specific. When you have vague goals like I want to be better, I want to have more discipline in my life, I want to wake up early, they're all so easy to manipulate based on your mood, your energy. In the end, you're just tampering with the end result. Now, the next step is to actually work on towards becoming that person. So this is where habit formation really comes into play. Now, here's the ground reality which all humans do. We get super inspired on day one, super motivated. So what do? We instantly aim for perfection. Now, the book Atomic Habits makes this super clear, mind you. Your first priority is not to be perfect. It's actually like to make the habit stick, to repeat it enough that it becomes automatic. And even if it's imperfect, even if it's messy, it's fine. You just need to repeat it. So let's say you want to build a study habit wherein you want to maintain a consistency of 4 hours of study from day one. Now, that's a brilliant idea, but do not force yourself or beat yourself up to doing that. Instead, build the identity of a person who shows up every day to study, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Now, that's your job right now initially. Just establish the habit. Once it's a part of your life, right, you can level it up later. That's not an issue. Now, there's this analogy in the book which I really love. It's like you need to imagine a block of ice, and we all know that ice melts at 0 degrees Celsius. But does that mean that when you're raising the temperature from the negative up until 0, that nothing is actually happening internally? No. That's just like this latency period. Now that's your effort, that's your habit. You might not see results in 10 days or even 10 months, but every repetition is actually moving you closer to the melting point. That is your breakthrough, okay, your threshold. Once you cross that invisible threshold, you have not just reached that goal of wanting to master something very specific, but you actually realize how much you've grown. Not just in knowledge, mind you, but also in identity. And that's the beauty of going system-wise. Let's snap back to reality once again. We all know we're not going to perfectly stick to a new habit, not because we don't want to, but because we already have a busy routine. And fitting one more thing in, it just feels overwhelming. The book Atomic Habits gets this because it does not expect you to achieve this from day one. Instead, it offers two insanely smart techniques: habit stacking and temptation bundling. Now let me explain once again. Habit stacking is basically this. You take a habit that already exists in your life, something you do without even thinking. It's in your subconscious. And you stack your new habit on top of it. So for example, I wanted to build this habit of learning one drug classification a day. Simple idea, right? I was pumped. I did it for 2 days, and on the third day, I got lazy. I was like, it's fine, I'll do 2 tomorrow. And yeah, you know how that goes, right? The habit has disappeared. But then I remembered. Every morning, without fail, I drink a glass of hot water. No reason, I just do it. Now, every time I have my mug of hot water, I just spend a few minutes reading and memorizing them. That's it. It's small, it's easy, and this habit is linked to something I'm already doing without thinking. So, does it work? It's more likely to. It's like you're not trying to fight your existing routine, you're flowing with it. You're giving your new habit a home in your existing life. I know, very philosophical. But one thing which this book keeps on telling is that a habit is more likely to be maintained if the environment is open for it. It's like a lot of the habits, or all of the habits, mind you, are contextual based. If your environment does not support it, if your existing lifestyle does not support a new habit, it's not very likely to be there for a really long time. So habit stacking is one technique in which you can really become the architect of your life, as Atomic Habits keeps on suggesting. And I really believe that self-analysis is honestly very underrated. At least in today's generation, we spend so much of time judging another person, adding perspective on why this person did that, why that person said that, whatever. But we never really add the same judgment to ourselves. For real, we remain blinded to our own actions. Now again, the book has a solution. It suggests to start measuring the actions which you do on a daily basis with automaticity. So it suggests this technique of habit tracking, wherein all the actions you do, however big, however small they are, note them down and track it. Track the frequency with which you perform these actions, and after a stipulated period of time, evaluate them and see whether these actions are really helping you in the long run or are they deteriorating. Identify the bad habits, and the book suggests say them aloud. Say these bad habits aloud because it adds weightage to it, and you become conscious and want to reduce that action. See, the basic funda of the mind, it is what is rewarded is repeated and what is punished is avoided. So make the bad habits harder to achieve. Make them seem impractical. Reduce the friction with which the good habits can be formed and align them with the environment. And always remember that your current habits, they are not necessarily the best way to solve the problems you face. They're just methods which you somehow learned to use and have stuck with you. So it's completely in your hands to choose something better, if that's the case. With all this being said, this brings us to the end of this video, and if you have not understood a single thing, you can either rewatch this video or you can read Atomic Habits, because the book is amazing, and I know a lot of people who want to read the book but either haven't had the time to, or even if they've read it, they don't know what exactly to implement from it. So by making this more based on, the MBBS journey and all of that, I hope it was sort of helpful. Come back next week for more Time Out with Aisri. Bye!